Hello and welcome everyone. A new episode of Arab Affairs. As usual, we are going to tackle the most important events that took place in the Arab nation, and we are going to focus on the most important one today. The lion's share is going to be about the occupied territories, about Gaza, about the Israeli aggression which is continuing there, and it seems that it's going to continue for such a long time. God forbids it's going to claim more innocent lives from both sides, by the way. But before we start, let us take a quick look at the main headlines, and we are going to return back with more.
Iraq's Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi met party and other leaders to discuss the country's political deadlock, but key player Muqtada al-Sadr did not attend. From Kadhimi's office said he had called a meeting today to start a serious dialogue, intending to find solutions to the current political crisis. Iraqi President Barham Saleh and Parliamentary Speaker Mohammad al-Halbousi also attended today's talks, as did officials of the two main Kurdish parties and the United Nations envoy in Iraq. Iraq's judiciary said Sunday it lacks the authority to dissolve parliament as demanded by populist Shiite Muslim cleric Muqtada al-Sadr, who is engaged in an escalating standoff with political rivals. Followers of Sadr, in defiance of his Shiite rivals of the pro-Iran coordination framework, have been staging a sit-in protest at Iraq's parliament. In line with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's directives, Egypt has sent 5 military planes loaded with tons of relief aid to Sudan after floods triggered by heavy rains continued to tear up homes across the country. The humanitarian aid comes within the framework of Egypt's support and solidarity with brotherly Sudanese people to continue in easing the suffering of them. More than 70 people have been killed and 14,500 homes destroyed by Sudan's seasonal downpours and floods. Earlier, the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said that more than 136,000 people have been affected by floods in the eastern Sudan and Kordofan states. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli held a meeting on Monday to follow up procedures to increase maritime cooperation between Egypt and both Tunisia and Algeria. Madbouli said the maritime transport sector has a significant role in developing Egypt's trade and increasing exports, noting that agreements were signed with the two Arab countries to enhance cooperation in this regard. The meeting also probed the operation of the navigational line between Egypt and Italy, as the European country is a key trade partner for Egypt. Egypt expressed its sincere condolences to Algeria and the families of the victims of forest fires across 14 Algerian districts, leaving at least 37 people dead. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry affirmed Egypt's full support for Algeria during this tragic incident, wishing the injured a speedy recovery. The Algerian Interior Minister said that 37 people lost their lives in fires in El Tarf, near the border with Tunisia, in addition to 2 others who died earlier in Sétif. Since the start of August, 106 fires have broken out in Algeria, destroying more than 2,500 hectares of woodland. A Turkish airstrike on a Syrian border post killed 11 on Tuesday, following an overnight flare-up between Ankara's forces and Kurdish fighters that control the area. A war monitor said that 11 fighters were killed in the strike that hit the outpost near the Turkish border, without specifying if the victims were affiliated with the Damascus government or Kurdish forces. As the conflict escalated, Turkish troops and US-backed Kurdish fighters exchanged heavy shell fire in the northern Syrian border town of Kobani, leaving 1 civilian dead. In Salufra province of the Turkish side of the frontier, some 25 kilometers west of Kobani, a Turkish soldier was killed and 4 were wounded in a mortar attack on a military border post. Following the mortar attack in the Sanlufa region, Turkish forces conducted fire against targets in the region. A Turkish official said the Kurdish YPG militia, a key force within the SDF, have carried out the mortar attack.